Oh, well, I don't know. It tells me that I'm live. Am I live? Am I live? That is the question. I will post it on you guys there. The public preview doesn't show me that I'm on yet, but maybe. Oh, there we go. There we go. Am I live? It already started. Guys, today I decided why finish one project when I can just start another project. And so I'm still working on the video for the skateboard. Uh, it's just I'm torn between working on the video or working on the skateboard. And the skateboard was done. We shot a bunch of stuff. Now I'm just working on the next gen battery. I want the thing to go like 50 miles an hour, you know, like some crazy, crazy performance. So the only way to do that is by increasing the amount of batteries in series and putting batteries that could put out a lot of power. I don't know if you guys remember this, but we bought, and I shipped to you guys like 20,000 of these LGHB2s, which are 30 amp cells. Now these are the older ones. These are like the 1500 milliamp hour ones. But Tom has actually right now has the newer versions of these 30 amp cells, and those are like 3100 milliamp hours, right? So they're twice the capacity of these, but with the same amount of power capability out. So his cells would do like just a killer skateboard. I mean, that you can do like, 30 miles at 30 miles an hour kind of thing, you know? I don't have those, but I do have a bunch of these because I kept a bunch of them because I knew one day I want to make something to use them or something, and that day is here. So today what we're going to do is we're going to see how I am doing the Tesla style fuses, right? Using the 1/8 watt leg resistor legs. That's what I'm doing here. I have my machine set up, and I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna let you guys watch. I'm gonna point the camera at it. From time to time, I'll look down at what your comments here. Get it to go 50. My nephew's crazy. Yeah, so yesterday I had to go and get someone that knows how to ride a skateboard because I'm not a skateboard guy. So, it's scary for me to go, 15 miles down the road here. 50 miles an hour. That's scary enough for me, but there's some people that could do, some crazy amounts. So we'll see. First, let's build a machine. Then once we build a machine, then we can see if we can find who's crazy enough to ride it at the speeds that it will do. So let's see if I can get this thing to show up. It's kind of cumbersome. Let's see, where is the image? So you guys can see all those. No, it's not that bad, right? Let's see here. There we go. Do we zoom in a little bit more? Do we get rid of that thing? Let's get rid of all those analyze, yeah, all that stuff. What is everyone saying? Let me just do a quick thing here. Woo! Mike Williams, thank you for the $50. Yeah. Let's see here. Watch out for the capacity loss for those LG cells. Known problem in automotive applications, says Boris. Oh, yeah. Well, this is just an experiment. Are the HG2s. 3100 milliamp hour are the HG2s, according to him. To Boris says. Well, the ones that Tom has are Sanjos. They're not the LGs. But I know there are, yeah, every manufacturer has that, like, highest capacity, highest output capability batteries. And yeah, those are pretty cool batteries. They're still pretty expensive though. These, I have a bunch of them because we bought them at $1 each, which is pretty cool, right? We bought, yeah, we spent like $20,000. We bought a whole pallet with 20,000 of the cells. And by the way, guys, I couldn't share at the time who these cells were gonna go, but these cells were going to be. I'd say it's probably okay now. You know, it's been a long time now. These were going to be on. Oh man, I even forgot the car manufacturer. These cells, I bought them from Faraday Future. So these cells might have made it into one of the prototypes or one of the newer ones, but then they decided to go some other way or whatever, so then they didn't need them. So I'm like, yes, I'll buy all 20,000 of you. I'll take them off your hands. And you guys helped me because I didn't have $20,000 to spend on batteries, right? But you guys all paid me a bunch of money so that we can go and get them. And then that's when the whole thing with the PayPal thing, but that's all resolved. Everybody got their batteries. And now I get to play with the few that I kept. I think you need more light in that room. Yeah, it's just the camera's being... the light outside, it's really strong. Anyone know how hot 1860 should be when discharging? Not too hot. I mean, yeah, heat is not good for your batteries. Let's see. Solar MJ1s says physics are 3,500 milliamp hours. Yeah, but how much amperage? You know, so I have two motors and I have two VESCs, and each one can do 60 amps maximum. So this is going to be a 4S, and then I'm going to put because a 4S can do 120 amps, right? Is it right? 30, 60, yeah, so 120. And so then I think I have room to put an extra 10 cells, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some of the other cells. I have more capacity. I'm going to do these cells, because these are 2,600 milliamp hours, 2,700 milliamp hours. So yeah, we'll talk about how this works, how to put these cells that could push out a bunch of power, and these ones that can't, and how these will help out the load whenever it's below the threshold that they can do, right? But because there are going to be four in parallel pushing the 120 amps, and by the way, 120 is like peak, right? It's only when you're going uphill and while you're accelerating and stuff. Most of the time it's going to be less than that. And so while it's at the continuous rate, a lot of that energy is going to come off of these. So this is equivalent, 10 of these are equivalent to 20 of those. And so that's why I want to put some of these in there. That's the idea, and so that's what I'm going to do right now. What else are people saying? I would still want to see a DIY Powerwall video, says Rafael Ortiz. Yes, we're working on that too. A lot of videos that I have to do. MJ1s are type 1 cells, so high capacity but low C output, like 10 amps. Yeah, see, so basically a 5S pack will only be able to do about 50 amps, right? And I need about 120 amps for this skateboard thing that I'm doing. I have a 10S 8P in my e-skateboard. Wow, that must be a big pack. That's, how many cells is that? That's 80 cells. I prefer 35 million. I could, because I have enough in parallel. Yeah, because then you have 8 10. Yeah, that's 80 amps. So yeah, you can just do the VESC. You limit it to no more than 80 amps, and you should be able to protect your cells. I mean, the cells will give you more for a little bit. It's like at 80 amps, I think you're going really fast, or you're going up a really steep hill, and if you're not doing that too often, which, by the way, we tested that. That's why I came home last night and I started working on these, because there's like, I live by the mountains, so there are super steep hills, like I don't know, 30% grades. Or we were trying to go up there, and you'll see in the video once I edit it and put it out. It was kind of funny. By the way, guys, if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, then you saw the story yesterday. I just shot a quick little video while we were doing stuff, and he was struggling to go up the really steep hill. Depends on the vape. They're asking, what happens when you mix big differences in amperage in parallel systems? Well, that's the thing that we're going to discuss, right? I did that on large scale in my bus, and there are some interesting things that happen. Depends on the load. When the load is higher than the weakest cells, then most of the load, most of the energy comes off of the strong cells. And so, like, if you were to like deplete your battery really fast, down to 50%, and then you disconnect all your parallel strings, if you were to check how much energy is left in each cell that was paralleled, you will see that the strongest cells are the ones that have less energy in them. So they basically deliver more energy than the weak cells, because the weak cells, they couldn't, right? The weak cells, let's say you have a one that's capable of 10 amps continuous, 20 amps, burst or whatever, but you're putting enough load that each cell like sees like 30 amps or something, right? So the one that can deliver 20 amps is not going to be able to deliver, it's 20 amps. It's only going to deliver 30 amps or whatever. It's only going to deliver 20. So then that extra amperage is going to have to come out of one of the other strongers. And so it's interesting. I actually did a bunch of those experiments with my bus where I disconnected my pack. And there were different chemistry, and there were different abilities to ship, and yeah, they were a different state of charge, which was pretty interesting. So I would expect the same thing to happen here, because the skateboard is gonna see most of this life cycle, the discharge life cycle, right? Duty cycle, whatever, gonna be below peak. These cells are not always going to be giving out, 30 amps. Then I think these are going to evenly, they're going to evenly discharge. And even if they don't, right? Even if they, all of a sudden you're like down, all your green strong cells are done, and the only energy left is on these, then these are going to give you whatever they're going to give you. You know what I mean? Like, if these can give you 20 amps, and they're the only ones that have energy left, and they're still attached in parallel to all the rest of the batteries, these are just going to deliver their 20 amps. They're going to get they're going to get hot and stuff. But then once, they run out of energy, then they're going to be done. So, yeah, you gotta think a little bit about that stuff, but it's not a huge thing. Ignore the... Atomic 6 from dead laptops. What minimum capacity should I put in my electric skateboard? Should I mix different brands of cells? Yeah, that's all doable. It's all doable. You just make sure your strings, you gotta make sure that your what is it? Parallel strings, like these, for example, right? These are 4. And parallel that I'm going to put. These have to be the same capacity, or around the same capacity, because they have two... well, actually, no. This group, whatever this adds up, the capacity, it has to add up to the same capacity of this next group that's got 4. And it doesn't matter as much how you reach that capacity, up to a certain point, because then they do, right? If you have one super strong cell here and then 3 weak ones, and then you have, 3 like mediocre cells, and then, or 4 mediocre cells, whatever. When you apply a load onto these cells, for example, the 4 mediocre ones might be able to push out the power, the load that you're asking off of them easier than the 3 weak ones and 1 strong one, right? Because the one cell is trying to do all the work. So yeah, that cell is gonna die quicker, and you might start seeing that in a few cycles, and then you might have trouble in the future. So the better you can match your groups, I think that's the best thing that you can do. And so that's why I always say try to match them as best as close as you can. And you can do it not just by capacity, right? Capacity is one thing, but you also, the internal resistance, right? Its ability to push power. If they all can push power evenly, then you don't even need a BMS. I've ran my bus without a BMS for a long time. The BMS would be there just for like any problems that would arise and stuff. And it's just less work on everything. Their cells are working less hard. So let's do this, man. Let's just get me shut up, and then I can do the spot welding. So 1/8 inch. Is that thing really on the camera? Let me take off that. What is that? This camera's so annoying. Okay, I think that's okay. So here is my. By the way, guys, I put links to all the components that I'm using, including someone was asking me earlier about this brass bus bar things that I've chosen. Why not copper? Since copper is better conductor? Well, simply because this is good enough. It's the same argument like someone would say, hey, why aren't you using gold instead of copper? Gold is a better conductor than copper. It's like, oh, because copper is good enough. So brass is good enough in these applications that we're doing. And this is cheaper than copper. And it's available for about $1.50. I put a link there at McMaster. And so this works out really good, really well. So 1/8 inch watt resistors, right? They have their little legs, and I tested the legs, see how at what temperature they would blow, and they blow around 6 amps. So I should be putting about 5 of these to do the 120 amps, right? But I'm putting 4 because I kind of want to test to see what happens. I don't even know if the board will actually ever do 120 amps. I'm gonna set the VESCs for its maximum, right? And the battery is gonna be able to deliver that amount. I don't know if they're actually gonna do it. And if they do it, I want to see how these, because that's the other argument. People are like, why aren't you using glass-filled fuses? That's a debate, criticism sometimes from people. And I'm like, because they work the same, right? Because Tesla, I should say, because Tesla doesn't use glass-filled fuses. You want to use them, go for it. I have nothing against you using them. I just don't want to use them. I don't, they're bigger, they're longer. It makes your thing messier, like your setup, your little thing, All right, shut up, Jehu. Let's now do the thing here. Look at that. I have it set up at 60-2. Which I don't even know what that means. I think 60 is the voltage, and 2 is the amperage, maybe? I don't know. I didn't read the instructions on this thing, but... Whoa, did you guys see that? So look at that. That's 2 of them there. It's just as easy as that. Of course, I haven't tested to see how well these connections are gonna hold. Like mechanically, they're hold all right. I pulled them out, and it's not super easy to pull them out. Oh yeah, and these things wear out the tips there, right? And then you gotta make sure they're like. And then I ground one to be like a spade facing one way, and then the other one a spade the opposite direction, so that there's a flat thing touching on across the cable there, so it doesn't slide off easily. All right, so yeah, it is It is kind of finicky, but I think you get the... You're gonna have to make like, you know, that's one. Make like little jigs or something so that it's easier to like do this. Like securing these batteries, right? For example, I'm like struggling here to keep these batteries from tipping over. You know, if I was smart, I would do it like, you know, put a piece of wood there, batteries they hold together, and then maybe put like a little arm that I can hold these. There are ways to like do it smart, and you know, I'm like, my attention span is sometimes too short, and you know, and I didn't learn to work that way, you know what I mean? Like I was never... Alright, there's 4 of them there. Let's do 4 on the other one over here. What is everyone saying? Let's see. Your comments kind of stop. What's going on there? Is there anybody looking? Is anybody watching this? Am I live? The stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended bitrate, it says. You are live. It says I'm live. Oh man, UPS is here. Usually volts and the weld. What does it say here? I have a 48 volt 13S, like 9P. Keeps cutting out. Wait. Oh my god, now you guys are typing too fast. Oh man. Hey, no barking. Keeps cutting out already. Replace 8 of the 13. It's my BMS balancer cutting off power, or is it the controller? Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good... Hey, good morning from Japan. Okay, alright, so there's... Oh, there's a lot of boxes. Hold on, I'm gonna have to go get the UPS, my daily UPS delivery. Customer service. All right. What did we get? Should I do a box opening? Oh my god, didn't put the door. Okay, here we go. We got 2 boxes. They're mine. Yeah, these both are mine. What if I do a live opening? I have no idea what these are. Hopefully it's nothing embarrassing or something. Right? Let's have some fun. Why not run the risk of embarrassing myself or opening up. Oh, I got a story for you guys. One time, I used to have, like 20 employees. And, I used to order all this stuff. I used to, order all the stuff, right? And so it was mostly, just junk. Like work junk. Like, products and stuff. And one time, those guys... So they used to... Oh, the GoPros are here. These are the GoPros. Remember, if you guys saw... The GoPros... These were $150. Oh, they have these funky boxes. Let's see here. Whoa, look at that. I need to put this light higher on. Let's see. let's, come on, light. Oh, those batteries are, oh, those batteries are low. That's why it doesn't want to go higher. Anyways, there's the GoPro, $50. You can't beat it, right? I gotta buy GoPros before the company goes bankrupt. If you guys have been following, GoPro's not doing very well these days, and it's a huge company. I don't think it's gonna die, but they're burning through cash. They're crazy. Anyways, that's that package. Oh, anyways, the story was people used to open up all my packages because they weren't really for me. They were for like the business, right? They were for Jack 35. And so one time I was away on a trip and they opened up a box, and I didn't know about it. And then they kind of left it there. And then when I came back, they were all acting like weird and, you know, giggling and stuff. And I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? Then eventually one of them told me like they had to open a box and it was full of Viagra. And then once they looked at it, they're like, oh, this is not even the right address. This is like sent to one of my neighbors, and they just opened it thinking it was mine. But their first thought was, you know, why is Jehu, you know, ordering Viagra? Like a whole box, they said. It wasn't like one pill or one little package. All right. Here is another one of these set of wheels that I order for skateboard. Man, these things are massive. But that's what you need if you want to be doing like 30 miles an hour, right? Like you can't do it with these smaller ones. Okay, so then, and then the other thing is, those other little motors that I have on the other one, yeah, they can't. Man, these things are massive. Wow. Okay, what's up? What's going on with the lights here? Look at these guys. And by the way, they're cheap. I mean, they're cheap. I wouldn't suggest you getting the cheap electronics because I tried that. And once you see the video, you'll see that it didn't work out. I ended up having to spend like, you know, like real money. I mean, and by the way, real money is like $100 for like a good controller, like the Vesks, right? Those are $100. So this is like $100 worth of motors, right? So the motors are cheap, like $50. And then the controller is like $100. So I don't know with $50 motors if they'll like die or whatever, because now with a good controller you'll be able to push, you know, 60 amps into this thing. So anyways, that's all. Pretty exciting. Let's carry on with our batteries. All right, back on task. Oh, should I change those? No, who cares? I don't need those lights. All right, what are people doing? What are people saying? Are you guys commenting? Sure, it was the neighbors, says Adrian. Guys, come on. Look at me. Do I look like a guy who needs Viagra? I didn't get much action. Where can I buy good cheap 18650s? Dude, just look at any of my videos. I have tons of links all over the place to cheap 18650 cells. It was 50% off for resale. GoPro for $50. No, $150 for a GoPro. Yeah, it's the $200 one. Anyways, it's not. Making motor skateboard. Yes, I made one. We shot a video. I still haven't uploaded it yet, but I got more stuff. That's the thing about any of these projects. You try to do one thing and then you're like, oh, this is not the right one. Let me do this. And then, because projects just never end. And so then at one point you got to be like, you got to decide when you're going to stop messing around with the project and then just edit the video and upload it. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm at the point where I shot a video and I'm like, no, it's got to go faster. It's got to go up this thing, and then and so that's why I haven't uploaded and I haven't completed editing the video, because I'm working on the battery that's gonna allow me to do that. This is gonna be the super battery here. Are you going back to Puerto Rico? Someday. I don't have any plans right now, but yeah, I think one day I will end up going back. There's several reasons that will most likely put me there again. Where did you get those hub motors? I got those hub motors in eBay. What about the 48 volt 13S by 9S that keeps cutting? Wait, is it 13S or is it 9S? Keeps cutting BMS bouncer controller. Well, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know your system. I don't know what's cutting out. I don't know what kind of batteries you have in there. I don't know I don't know BMSs. BMSs are a thing that I still don't completely trust or understand. They have those MOSFETs that have to be on and off, and they have to dissipate all that heat, which I find kind of wasteful. Why didn't they just put a latching, relay instead of a MOSFET? You know what I mean? It literally is it's an on and off type of thing that BMSs have to do, but they use a MOSFET that creates a bunch of heat. Now you got to dissipate all that heat and all that stuff, and it's I don't know if this is the best way to do it. That's how we're gonna do it on the big scale DIY power walls, right? It's you put a relay that either energize on or normally on, or a latching one, so that, and then the system will decide hey, the batteries are not doing good, they're out of balance, or they're exceeding the amount of energy that they can put out or whatever, so then they disconnect. But they don't do it with a semiconductor. They don't do it with a transistor or solid state thing. It's just they do it with a physical contactor that we have in our cars and stuff. I have a few 1860 cells laying around. Do you think a cheap $10 power bank housing without batteries from eBay will be worth it? Yeah, those are cool. I made a few of them, except the cheap Chinese electronics, they usually come back and bite you. They didn't last very long. And I thought it was the batteries, and then it was the little, the little controller, the little thing. I need more headweight 38 120s. Those things rock, says Fansworth. Okay, so I think already after the initial sale that more came available, and I think they're going to keep getting available. I think he said once or twice a year he'll have large shipments of those, right? So how much did the conversion cost on the BW bus? Well, it cost a bunch of money because it was it started 4 years ago, right, when I bought most of the parts. But now it's you probably could do what I did for 10, I don't know, $15,000 or something. That's where we're at right now. If you accidentally short a cell when removing it from a pack, will it kill it? Well, it depends. No, not instantly. It will create sparks and stuff. Jehu, do you meet fans? Sometimes I do, but a lot of the times I'm kind of antisocial. And so that's why I make videos on YouTube. But yeah, usually I do. And, I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis. My phone is always just hundreds and hundreds of messages, and I'm back and forth and stuff. I tend to be rude when people are rude to me. I tend to just be screw you, I don't need you. I got another 400 people to... So, yeah, just, don't be... I don't like demanding people. That really turns me off really quickly, I'm But, yeah, usually if you send me messages and if it's, quick and to the point, and, and I usually answer. I literally, hundreds of messages every day I answer. Currently I'm hanging out with the coolest guy and soldering some 10 gauge XT60 and 90s. Adapt cable, says Super Brain AK. That's cool. I just ordered some XT90s, the ones that are anti-sparks. I want to see how those things work. Although I think I figured out once, and it made sense, and then I forgot how they work. And today I was like, hey, I need to. Actually, the reason why I order them, one is because I'm curious to see how they work. Two is because I needed like a few more dollars to be able to get my shipment for free the same day on Amazon. So I'm like, oh, order some of these so I can check them out. If yes, I already read that one. Is the Batran BMS a zero loss BMS? What is a zero loss BMS mean? I don't know what you mean by that. Don't have resistors on my batteries. I'm doing something wrong. No resistor. Resistor legs. That resistor there, I'm going to eventually cut them, you know? How do you power your IMAX B6? Just a 12 volt, like 2 amp little brick thing. The same thing that I'm using to power my little video thing here to stream out to the internet. They're super popular. Good night from France. He's out. Wow, it's like midnight over there. Never mind. The resistor load. BMS. Amp power? Never mind. Wait, what? Let's see. Solid state relays work well, says Paul Nielsen. Actually, I think you're probably right. I've never had one work, but then again, I only tried a few of them early on, and then I just like get these things out of here. But then again, they're cheap Chinese stuff, right? So, what are you using as your fuses? 1/8 watt resistor legs. What is the typical amperage rating you use for fuses? You usually run, I mean, these are burned at 6 amps, so I'm usually running them at like 3 or 4 amps or something. I don't usually want to ask more than that out of my batteries anyways, you know. I mean, depending on what batteries I'm doing, but, you know, for us doing the reclaimed, recycled, you know, dead laptop cells, yeah, you shouldn't be asking more than 3 amps, you know, 4 amps, maybe 2 Cs out of them. I built my own spot welder with a microwave transformer. Watched a video on YouTube. It works good. Whoa, the weird thing I was thinking is that I'm powering this thing off of my power wall, right? With the 1000 watt inverter that I have on the wall there that I've never made a video about. And I was thinking, I wonder if that's preventing me from like bumping up the, you know, the power on it. Because when you click on it, it like, the lights dim. It seems like it's a lot of power. Oh yeah. This is live from my, let's see, those are like, there we go. Is that it? I think that probably looks better. Those hub motors are cheap Chinese crap. Look into carbon hub motors or inertian hubs. But inertian doesn't sell hubs. They don't have anything in stock. So I'm like, no. And they make supposedly the next generation hubs, right? I just don't know where to buy them. They don't even sell their boards. They're like making a batch for like March or something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're selling so many of them or something. That's a problem to have. It just doesn't work for me that I'm like, oh, I got some time this week. Let me order stuff, and then, oh wait, I have to wait till 6 months from now. I'm planning on building this 18650 system for RV solar, 500 amp hours. What's your thoughts on a 3M non-conductive liquid, like the kind people use for PC cooling? Any suggestions? I'm not familiar with it, but I did experiment early on with epoxy that was semi-conductive, and I epoxied some like nuts on the end of the batteries and stuff, and I think it would work. It would work okay, I think. Yeah, if you're not using like high amperage stuff, right? It's, well, I don't know. If you're doing 12 volts, yeah, you're gonna do high amps. Good night from the Netherlands. Let's see. Let's see here. Immersion cooling, 3M. What are those resistors for? Oh man. Okay. Just look back 20 minutes ago. I was talking about that. How many resistor legs are you putting on each battery? So I'm putting 4. I should put 5, but I want to put 4 to actually maybe run into that point where I blow them up. Because the skateboard, at least the hardware is supposed to be able to load these batteries at 120 amps. I don't know if they're actually ever going to do it, right? Because I have cheap little Chinese motors. So something is going to blow, hopefully. And maybe it's going to be the fuses, and I want to see how they blow so that I can show people how they blow so that they can, you know, so that they can either, I can, you know, they can give more criticism or they can shut up. I don't know. Either way, it's okay. Let's see. What type of mounts do you use on frame solar cells? I don't know. I never installed solar cells. Never made a solar panel out using solar cells. I bought some, but I never actually did it. Can I swap batteries from lead acid to 18650 pack for a UPS? I'm thinking charging method is different, right? Yeah, it's a slightly different, but it'll be alright. Those are made to be just topped off always, anyways. Make sure that you don't do a 12 volt one, you do like a 24 volt, because then you can do 7S, or a 48 one, and you can experiment using, you know, 12, 13, 14S. I don't know which ones work better with the. Oh, but we successfully did the 10S on the 36 volt UPSs that we were doing. Any good websites for 18650 cell? Yeah, click on the link up on my video here on the cards, and you can go to Tom's eBay listings. He has all kinds of 18650 cells for sale. If you want information on the cells, I think it was DIY Powerwall's forum, but now they changed its Second Life or something. There's a lot of info there. There's a lot of people doing stuff there. So if you don't know that, you should go check it out. He's putting 4 but needs 5. Well, I'm gonna put 5, right? But I can only put 8 like side by side here because of my box where I'm putting the battery. So I'm gonna have a separate string. So it's gonna go in another row or whatever. It was just too confusing and too messy doing it, you know, trying to do, you know, 5 and 5S together. Do you make your own? Oh man, I don't know what you're talking about. Good night from the Netherlands. Greece watching. Spot welding. Oh yes, I will get to the spot welding. I already spot welded a few. Are your batteries glued together? What are you using to hold them? Yeah, I just glued them together last night because I've seen the e-bike guys do it, and I wanted to try it and see how that works out. Because I want to make this pack as small as possible, right? So that it can fit in that box that I already made. You will see once I upload this video. You're gonna see it, you know. How long does it take to convert a VW bus to electric? You can do it in a weekend if you have all the stuff. Yeah, it's not a lot of work. It's like these days it's like off-the-shelf parts almost. You just put them on and you drill a few holes, run your cable, crimp a few stuff, and you know, you design your battery box and stuff. But I think, you know, if you don't want to do any of that stuff, then you can just call Michael at EV West and order like a kit or order the boxes, and he'll have like something that he could sell you because it's already done it. You know what I mean? Like they haven't done like a VW bus like proper yet, in my opinion. But but I think hopefully that's gonna change soon. You should do a test capacity decrease between spot welding and directly soldering into the battery when building a cell. Yeah, I don't believe that's gonna be too different. Yeah, I've been talking more than building. That's true. At this rate, it's gonna take me forever to finish this battery. Finally can see the feed. Saludos de Puerto Rico. All right, sad boy PR. It's almost time for me to go home. Electric skateboard myself. Hey, physics. You should send me some pictures of that to see that giant battery box you have on that thing. Yeah, I was thinking to submerge the cells in it. Love the videos, keep the good work. I could see it working. I haven't heard much about it, but I can't see. Oh, that's for someone else. I tend to always read the messages of someone else. Setting on your spot welder. Yeah, that's my thoughts. All right, let's do some more. Oh man, what did I do this for? Let's do some more spot welding. That is what this thing is all about. Anyways, let's see here. Can I see? I can't even see if you guys are watching. I mean, I obviously know because you guys are commenting, but where is that? Is it this one right here? Oh, there we go. Okay. Is that live? Okay, now I see it. By the way, guys, you see all the links of all the stuff that I'm using on the description. Parts used in this project, everything's there. I know that I got some, even before I started posting, I posted just like a picture and stuff. Benefits of spot welding. Benefits of spot welding is that it's a lot cleaner. You don't heat the cell, right? And you could reuse the cells later on. You could just pull all that stuff out, and then you end up with cells like this. Where if you solder them, yeah, it's hard to reuse the cells. I mean, if you're going to the trouble of assembling a pack, most likely you don't have plans to like reuse it. But if you're like me, then you don't always end up doing what you plan, or I don't plan most of the stuff that I do. Okay, so that one's glued, and it's about the same time, I think, to do it. Look, that was one. You grab the other one. I like to do like 3 little things. 3 little welds on there. And then do it twice on each one. Right? At least at the settings that I have right now. 60, I think it's 62, 602. I don't really know what that means. Some of you guys that are more experienced might be able to tell me. Alright, so that's 4. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, really? Is that what he says? Spot weld from link 1 left. Oh, wow. So maybe I linked the wrong one. Or maybe a bunch of you guys bought one. Clicked on the link and bought some. That actually happens. I tend to link and stuff, and then it's like, oh, they're not there anymore, and it's because you guys went and bought a bunch of stuff. I will look for it on eBay. Whoa! Sometimes it does that. Like, by the way, you feel it when it's working. It feels different than the times that it's not working. So here we go. This is the thing here. Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Let's do 4. And then, what did I ended up doing? Oh yeah, so I have trouble on the ones for... I don't know what the problem is, but on the actual brass one here, I had trouble with spot welding that, so I just soldered it. But I successfully did it on another pack. So I don't know what changed. I don't know if the settings of the machine changed or... Oh, you know what changed? The resistors changed. This is another batch. Might be why it doesn't work. And so on this pack, I'm just gonna end up soldering those, but spot welding on the battery side like this. Hey, no barking. No barking. Have an audience today. Oh, they listen. All right. See? I call shots around here sometimes. There we go. That one's there. What's the average capacity of a dead laptop battery? Someone's asking. Well, the most common, I think, are gonna be like 2,600 milliamp hours when they were new. So by the time we're getting them and we're extracting them and we're like salvaging them, I think you're good if you're like at 2,000 milliamp hours. Anything below that is just the battery's like almost too far gone to like be worth it. I mean, at least for me, I don't know. I think there's other people that think different or whatever. There's probably some good experiments to be had with using like the really degraded cells and see how well. I just, yeah, the more degraded they are, then the more work than your BMS is gonna have to do, right? And so sometimes maybe your BMS is not even gonna be able to keep them alive, keep them from doing stuff you don't want them to do, kind of thing. All right, there we go. So here is, if you can see, I taped this because, you know, if I short this from here to here, those is capable of doing like probably like 200 amps on a dead short. So I don't want to short that, so I want to, you know, and so this is the end of the battery. Basically, it goes here, it connects to this next one, and it's going to the next one. And then what I'm gonna do is solder. Yeah. So this one, spot weld all the, you know, the fuse wires coming this way, and then solder the brass thing here, and then once we come here, I'll be able to put those together and then just solder here, 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 and then fold those over. Actually, this one over to the negative side, this one over to the negative side, because I don't want to fold it over here, because like if it breaks the isolating plastic sheeting here, if it's folded on the negative side, then it's okay, it's not going to make a short. But if it's folded on the positive side, then it's going to short out. So you want to fold it on the negative side. At least that's the that's going to be the design thing here, right? And then we'll do this one, and then do the same on the next one, and then do this one. Eventually get to the whole battery, right? And it's going to be what? So it's going to be, yeah, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is going to be the pack. And then at the end, there's still enough room for me to put these cells. And these cells are going to be wired a little bit different. It's going to be its own string of 10. I have 2 more, right? Because these are 8, and the other 2 are gonna be right next to here. And then in the middle here, I don't know if you guys can see that. In the middle here, it's gonna be the controllers. I have to modify the controllers quite a bit, just the wiring, so they fit. These are the VESC controllers, right? So supposedly these guys are capable of doing 60 amps. I don't know if that's actually happens, but that's one of the tests that we're going to do. And then that's going to be one skateboard, right? But in order to record that skateboard properly, then I have to build another one. And for that, I'm going to use these guys, which is basically the same thing. It's just a better version of that. The VESC, the Vetter. What is it? Yeah, the Vetter controller or whatever. Yeah, I took this one apart. I think I'll do it on camera to show it to you guys. They use different transistors on this one, or IGBTs, or I don't know what kind of semiconductors they are, but they're different. And I think, yeah, they'll dissipate the heat a lot better because they're on this plate that is aluminum, and so then you can put this plate onto a bigger thing, and so that if you can remove the heat from those things, then those things you can run them hard. So maybe these are able to actually do the 60 amps that the software allows you to do. Maybe the other ones don't, right? Because they don't have a cooling. They don't have proper cooling there. But anyways, let's do more spot welding. There's 223 watching. Wow, you guys, yeah. Like I said, I'm working on the video, but well, I can't finish the video if I can't finish the project, right? And so I did it once, but I want to make it better. I want this thing to... It didn't sound like... While I was looking at the footage back, it just didn't sound like scary fast when we were like going. So I want this thing to be scary. Or at least to sound scary. FETs probably. TO 220. Yes, but the 220 is the little that's the enclosure, right? That's the size of the enclosure. The ones inside that thing, they don't have the black part. It looks just like a tiny little silver or copper like pad. And it's really thin. I mean, it's almost like a square of this. Like this bronze little square. And can't even see like the little legs. They're really weird. I never seen MOSFETs like that before. I've always seen them packaged together in that black little thing with the little heat thing, like like a 220 type, right? TO 220, and then the other these sizes, right? Use higher discharge cells like A123's 26650 cells from smaller packs, or you will experience heavy voltage sag. Says Brent Hawkins. Yeah, except I don't have any of those cells. I have a bunch of these cells. So we want to test them out to see how they perform. Okay, let's do this other thing here. Oh, so they're called direct FET. That's what he's saying. So it doesn't have so it doesn't have the housing. It doesn't have that black little package and stuff. And I think it's got a much more direct connection right to the aluminum heatsink thing that they use, right? All right, here we go. By the way, can you guys hear that Mexican music playing in the background? Those are my neighbors. Next door neighbors. They like bumping their music. Nice. Look at that. That worked. Essentially the same. They just use the dye without the potting compound for better thermal management, or what? For better cooling. Yeah. So it transfers the. Yeah, that's what it seems like it, and I think, yeah, it's a much better product, I think. So those vests are going to be pushing these cheap Chinese motors. And then if they do the job, right, then it's going to be cool. And then the cool thing is, like, you could use expensive motors, 2 expensive motors, or how about 4 cheap Chinese motors? Will you be able to get the same amount of performance? I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people are doing that experiment, and you could probably find out without building one. But I need projects to build for those batteries, right? So, I mean, this whole batteries, anyways, is to push those other LiPo batteries, and you will see the LiPo batteries being used. The problem with those is that, like, you can't put a lot of them on a small skateboard because they're kind of big, and the pouch, you know, thing, just it's really wasteful on the, you know, on the space. Like the whole tabs and stuff sticking out, and you know, you can't solder those because they're like really thick. And one of them's aluminum, and one of them is copper, and it just yeah, it's problematic. But nonetheless, you could do it, like I did it. We built it. All right, here we go. Another one. Okay, here we go. Tell him to turn it up, he says. I used 2 of them hoverboard packs and added to my old boosted board, and it only gave me 2.5 miles extra. Really? You used 2 of the packs? Those are like 150 watt hours each. Well, 148 or something. So that's almost like 200 watt hours, and you only got 2.5 extra miles. I find that hard to believe. Something is wrong. Oh, you know what? If you exceeded the amp draw on the BMS thing, then it might have disabled your pack. So, I mean, I don't know. But hopefully you know what you're talking about, and you tested the battery's voltage and you realized that, or maybe you broke them apart. I don't know. I find it hard that you can only get 2.5 miles at 300 watt hours of energy. I mean, my bus will give you a mile, and it's a 3,000 pound car when 300 watt hours. So there's something definitely else going on there. No barking. No barking. Oh my God. What part of no barking did you guys not understand? These dogs. I need Caesar to come and whip him into shape. Here we go. Oh, is that's weird. Oh, look at that. The battery on the camera is going to die. Let's see here. It's gonna blow. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect the battery here for a little bit. Your lighting is hard to see. Okay, I'll... Hopefully we're back. Video detected. Hey, dog. You wanna get out of my way? Oh, sorry. Get out of the way. So then let me change the batteries on my light so that I can light it up. Light it up. By the way, guys, who watching this still watches Jack Rickard? Today I was like, I was gonna put it on while I was working on this, right? Before I decided that, like, oh, maybe I should just break out the camera and then go live. And I put it on for a little while, and then, you know, I don't know, like 10 minutes later, I'm like, nope, this is just too slow for me. I'm like, I need to put something else. How many of you guys still watch it? Are you guys familiar with Jack Rickard and his EVTV thing? Alright, here's some light. Woo! Now we got light. Here we go. Hide. Who is Jack Rickard? Ah, that's true. You had any Boss Gen 2 e-bike bats to recall yet? It can be done, but no videos how to do it. BMS must not lose power while doing it as password protected. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Wish I knew what you were talking about. Dead battery. Yeah, everything is dead battery. Dead battery on my light. Well, it just shows that everything's running out of batteries here, which it is. My camera's running batteries. The thing is running out of batteries. My computer's running out of batteries. Everything. The light is running out of batteries. The irony. Need to build a battery for the camera. Well, I have it. I have the dummy battery thing you put it on there, but I'm like, I don't have time to put it on. I guess it would be worth it, then I wouldn't have to change. I don't like doing stuff. Alrighty, here we go. Does it look better now? That is the question. Because I just changed a bunch of batteries. I don't know if I did a good job. MCM, good to know. Never mind. Like the what is it? Oh, the focus. Is that what you're saying? The focus is bad? Oh, let's see. I have a tiny. Well, I think it's shallow depth of field, right? So only like one portion of the screen is in focus, because I have the lens kind of close, because it's a wide angle lens. Yeah, maybe I should do change. Oh, lots of icons on the screen. That's right, it came up again. This camera. All right, now I just turn them off. All right, so it looks better. Okay. I'll run it to your bench with a few buck inverters to power whatever you need on DC. Yeah, that's one way to do it. But then you gotta like do stuff. You gotta like get cable and run it over here. Buy some buck inverters. All right, let's do this one. There we go. 3 little spots on that one right there. Could you believe that I want to do 6,000 cells? Although they're not going to have, you know, multiple of these. It's just going to be a single one. But nonetheless, it is 6,000 cells that we're going to do for my Samba. Hopefully soon. We're going to do that. I'm going to have you guys help me out, because there's no way I can do that all by myself. I mean, I could, but it'd just take me a long time. Maybe I just need to concentrate on the video part. Oh, that one worked. Whoa! Every once in a while, there's like big sparks come out, you know? Don't know what that's about. Don't like it. Come on, man. And then these things are loose. I don't know why these are loose. But they touch each other, and so, you know, you can't. It doesn't work if they're touching each other. The power's got to go right through the cable, whatever you're trying to spot weld, you know? Here we go. There we go. Oh, and it's got that smell. It smells like burned metal. So, hopefully this video answers the question that many people had, is if you could put, you know, if you can spot weld fuses, including me. I didn't know if it was possible, because I never tried it. Now let's cut these guys, because we don't need them that long. And we can reuse the other side of that thing. Yeah. You know, it'd be a lot easier if we just get some a Tesla module. You know? But you know what? The skateboard would not go as fast, because it would you would have to run it at 6S, and I think that's where it makes the difference with skateboards, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. The difference between 6 cells and 10 cells, it's huge when it comes to speed. I think you could probably do about the same torque, but like speed, the only one way to get speed is to have the voltage higher. And then I've heard that the Vesks, they quite often, they just fry when you're using 12 cells. So I think maybe that's why a lot of people just like to do. Highest I've seen is 20 amp cells. Well, these are 30 amp cells, so now you've seen 30 amp cells. These LGHB2s, 21s, whatever they are, I don't know. And the ones that Tom have are 30 amp, you know, 3100 milliamp hours. Those things are awesome. Maybe I should just buy them all and do a skateboard with them. 25 LGHE2s, 18650s, 2500 milliamp hours, 35 amps. Flat top batteries, Amazon, $124. That is what I plan on using for solar packs. This is reasonable price for new cells. $124 for 25, which is what, like 4, right? Yeah, $4, so a little bit over $4. Yeah, those are, I mean, that's a good price for those cells, for 2500 milliamp hours. So why do you need the energy cells though? You could get much more capacity if you just don't get these 35 amp cells. I mean, if you need to push the cells that hard, I'd see, yeah, do it that way. But for solar stuff, I mean, this makes sense on a like this on a skateboard, you know, like something that's the battery needs to be light and small so it doesn't get in the way of you riding, but it needs to be able to push a lot of power to be able to get you fast. Oh man, so the lighting, it's getting in the way. Actually, my hand is getting in the way. I need a better setup here. What's going on here, right? This, you can't even see these. Let's see. It's because the light is coming from the top. Let's see if we can change this guy. There we go. Get you cells, you're gonna want a lot for a solar pack. It's for a house. Oh, I actually do have a camera light. Look at this thing. It's for my phone. Where's my phone? So, you know the ring lights. This is, you know, what like all the models use. Oh, Crystal just texted me. Hold on. The table Setronics. Let's get some good food afterwards because I'm hungry. All right, how many of you guys watching this have done this? Right? Oh yeah, so here's my light. Whoa. Oh, maybe I need to put it. Ah, look at that. I think I figured it out. Yeah, how many of you guys watching have actually spot welded like batteries together? Or have put other packs together? What does Crystal say? Okay, me too. There we go. See? Yeah, that's actually just putting the light right where we need it. I think I could have just changed the camera like to a lower thing too, and might have actually helped too. Well, the big light is overhead. That's what's lighting, but it's like way up there, right? And close to the ceiling. 2.7 for 100 US while you're watching your TV show at EV West. Oh yeah. You guys want to watch it? Let me organize it with Michael, and then I'll make a video about it. You know, it's so weird. Like, we haven't really heard back from that. Like, the network is like, okay, thank you. I didn't even know they said thank you. I hope they said thank you. So I think we still have to get paid, and then hopefully they'll let us know when it's gonna air. I don't know. I'm still soldering, says Greg Earl. Ooh, I can get you my cellar if you want. Ooh, yeah. Share the cellar. I want to know too. I want to buy batteries. I buy batteries all the time. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's another battery. All right, what time is it? 4:35. Wait, I've been on for an hour and a half, and I've only done a few of these cells. Okay, so the goal for this one stream is to finish this thing right here, and then at least connect this group to the other group. And then once we do that, then that's it. We can all go work on our own projects. By the way, what are you guys working on right now? What are the projects that you guys are working on? I mean, I'm working on a bunch of these, like, I'm supposed to just get this thing done, right? Oh, actually, so this is going to be the second video, the second most requested video, right? People wanted to see the skateboard one using those cells, and that's what I'm working on. But I'm kind of merged the two, because then I did it, and I just haven't uploaded the video yet. But because in order to finish it, I have to do this battery pack. But then this also serves the second most requested video, which was how to spot weld the fuse links. And as you can see, it's very simple, very easy. I think this machine is like 220 bucks or something. It's really cheap. There's nothing to it. I think I had to buy this thing extra, but I think there's a version of it that comes with this like little the little handle thing, or the hand probe. Oh yeah, and I had to Mickey Mouse it over here. I had to cut the things, the ends, and put it, because I don't think the one that I bought was for this particular version of the machine. Let me show it to you guys, because you guys, okay, right? So I had to cut these cables and then put these here, crimp these on myself, because the other ones that it had, they were too big. And then I just took those, I removed the things that were on there, and then I put it on there. So again, like, this is not as, it wasn't, I don't think it works for this one, but I think you can get this one with the handheld thing, or you can get the handheld thing that works for it. I just don't know which one, because I bought this one before because I wanted to see if I could just like do it using like a battery, which you can, but you have to be able to control it, right? The pulse, it has to be a very specific pulse to be able to get those results, because if you don't, you just burn a hole right through the thing, which is exactly what I started doing. And it's not recommended. Don't do it. Don't do it like I did. Just get yourself this $200 machine, and then you can do it. Or you could just solder, like I was doing it. There we go. This is the last piece before we get to... Alright, there we go. So, we cut those now. We'll cut them right here. What are we doing? I just bought 160 Full River LiFePo 4. 3300 milliamp batteries, so-called cycling. Alright. I actually have some, but I got the wrong like holders for them, so that's why I haven't built a thing. Oh yeah, let me show you this. And so I have an A123 module. I have a couple of them that are too far gone, and so that's why I never made a video about them, right? So I thought, oh, why don't I just take off all the A123 cells out of there, and then, you know, install the full river ones, and I can do either a 12 volt or a 24 volt module, right? That you can like screw in the wall. So basically, I'm just using the plastic thing as the holder, and that's an idea that I had, but I don't have enough because it takes like 180 cells to do 2 the modules, and I only have 1. So I was like, should I buy more? But yeah, those are there. People don't seem to be buying them for some reason. And I'm like, well, if I make a video, I'm pretty sure they're going to be gone. Okay, so here's what we're doing. Got to cut those out. Let's cut them out. You got to be careful here too, because now this one is live. I can short this one. The other one I couldn't. Here we go. Cut. 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 Come on. There we go. Let's push these guys over there. Here is the thing here. I checked all these cells before gluing them together to make sure that they were all the same voltage. Why would I do that? Why would I care? Well, I would care because usually I don't care, right? Like when you're like charging and stuff. In fact, I did watch Rickard the other day connect 2 Model S battery packs, the entire thing, like the full 85 kilowatt, right? Like this giant battery, and he connected them. One was like 80% state of charge, and then the other one was like 30% state of charge, and he connected them in parallel, right? Which is pretty scary. You guys were saying like that that was pretty scary for me to like do that on a single cell. I imagine doing one with like 5,000 cells, you know, together with another 5,000 cells, and they're that far apart. And I think what he found out is that it's not that big a deal. I think if they're like really far apart like that, like 95 to like 20%, then the BMS kicks in and says, hey, this is too much energy transfer. But anything less than that, you connect it, yeah, and you see 100 amps or something for like 5-6 minutes or something, and then after that it starts tapering off. So yeah, the energy from the fully charged cell will go to the, or pack will go to the, but it's not that big of a deal. It wasn't, you know, those packs are meant to push a bunch of power, right? And so it's the same thing with these. I wanted to make sure that they were together, because if not, if there was a difference here, right? And I were to like start soldering this piece here, for example, right? Say that I start doing that, then these will start getting hot right away, because it would see if there's a differential in any of these cells here, it would start transferring from the higher voltage cell to the lower. So it could be quite a bit of energy, because these can put out 30 amps continuous. They could do more than that. These probably can do 100 amps short. Which, by the way, I should test that. I should probably short one of these and see how much we see, and then let it short it out too to see how far it takes to explode or to vent or whatever. Yeah, that's another video. Man, I have so many videos to make. Let's see. Another video I have. Let's see. Here we go. Look, before I finish this pack here, I want to make a video about this too, because someone said about the full river one. So I got my full river cells, right? And I made a 4S pack, 12 volts. Ta-da! So here it is in a little box. I'll, of course, once I do that video, I'll link to this. I don't know why, because you can't buy these anymore, right? The 26 650s are smaller than this. These are for the 32 20, whatever, the bigger ones. These sold out completely, so there's no more of those. But I built this pack, and it's 12 volts. And what I want to do is I want to pair it with a 12 volt inverter. But then I want to pair it with this guy. You guys see this? This is a smart solar MPPT charge controller designed for 12 volts. And the cool thing is that it's got Bluetooth. And it's got an app. Is it Android or is it? Let's see. What is it? Ultra fast, maximum power point tracking, blah blah. Bluetooth smart, built-in dongle. So it shows an iPhone. But I'll have to read the instructions to see if it's. Yeah, it shows an iPhone. So I think I will be able to keep an eye of the charge. At least what's going in. Well, it's got a place for the load too, so I think this could be set to manage your entire little. This is a 1 kilowatt hour battery pack, 12 volts. So if I put this in here and then connect the inverter through here, although that inverter can pull some power, I'll have to see what the maximum is that you can load this up with. But this could be like a nice little smart, 1 kilowatt little power wall for, this is for like Puerto Rico and stuff. I mean, not just for Puerto Rico, for anyone that just wants like a little small. And by the way, like this, and this could just grow. I think they make bigger ones of these. And the reason why I want to try it is because they're smart. Like I said, it has an app. You'll be able to look at it on your phone and, I don't know, I think probably control it or something. So that's another video project that's in the works. I just got that. I ordered it a few days ago. So many videos. Okay. What time is it? 46. Okay. Gives me 20 minutes to finish this battery pack. Or at least thing. That means I have to bring my soldering station out here. Hot. Oh, Crystal's here. Oh, I might have to call this. I might have to cut it short. Okay, here is my station. Oh no, that's not Crystal. Okay. Never mind, we're still good. I thought Crystal had gotten here earlier. I was gonna have to cut short. But I think we're good. I need. Turn this little light off because I don't have a battery. Okay, that's my dad talking, speaking Spanish there. If you guys speak Spanish, you might be able to understand. If you don't, Dan, you don't know what's going on. He's playing with the dogs over. Okay, so let's do this thing. Here's the solder. Here's the thing. Okay, so what I need to do is basically solder this guy in here with enough clearance to be able to fold it over. Is that, wait, are you guys seeing what I'm doing or no? This kind of, I need to work on my streaming setup here so that you guys can, so I can show you guys better what I'm doing. I feel like a total
amateur here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna solder this thing here, right? Because I had too much trouble getting those to stick there. That's one. Let's do the next one. Oh yeah, by the way, I get a lot of questions where people have trouble getting these things to stick to the top of the cells. And I think the biggest problem that people are using, they're not using the right solder, right? I think this one has flux. This is a flux core. Wait, is it? I don't know if it's a flux core, but I used to get one that had flux in it, and so it would set the right amount of flux. I don't know if this is it, but like this one works. So if you guys are trying to do that and having trouble, you know, try to find this one. Here's another way that I can adjust that. I can just go like this. Okay. Let's do this one right here. Here we go. 100 amps. These little guys are going to see 100 amps. Hopefully. Maybe. If the skateboard can load them up with the 100 amps, then they're going to see. Kitriel's asking, is the MPPT controller designed for lead acid batteries? Yes, it is. But we're going to try it on lithium iron phosphate batteries, 4S. So we should be able to see how it does. If the voltage is correct, maybe we can get away with it. If not, maybe we'll run into some problems. But I mean, that's the whole thing of the experiment, right? Alrighty, here we go. So that's the one side. Now let's do the other. Now let's do this guy. And for that, I feel like we have to take this off, this tape that I put there, that I put on here to keep it isolated. It just makes me nervous that I'm gonna touch something and then all my fuses are gonna blow. Yes, that 2% number indicates flux core. You can go up to 3% or so if more flux is needed. Please, paste flux on the strip works wonders for this. So the problem was that people were doing was they're pasting their flux onto the tops of the batteries. But then that flux was like going all over the place. And then later it was causing like shorts and stuff. It was like causing corrosion and all kinds of problems, right? And I'm like, what? How are you guys getting into so much trouble? By the way, look at... these things are pretty beefy once you start like putting more on them, you know what I mean? Oh, this one's stronger. We can make sounds like African music. I'm really trying to be as boring as Jack here. For you those who don't know, he makes like 3-4 hour videos and he just sits there and talks, and sort of like what I'm doing right now. Jeez. Okay, so now here's the thing. You gotta be careful because, like I said, like you can, yeah, probably 100 amps here if I short it out there. So, how do I solder those there? How do we do this? Do we tape it together? We could tape it together. Let's see. And we do this. We could zip tie it together. Where's the other tape? The other tape on the other side. Any ideas, guys? Okay, so here we go. Right, so now we just I need to, let's see here. I know. I got it. I'm gonna put some of this tape over here. I'm gonna tape the tops of them too, just in case. I don't want anything touching on those. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this box here, put it on there. Yeah, there we go. See? There we go. So I just leaned it up against my welder here, my spot welder. Now I have, my hands are free to solder it. Is that medical tape? Yes, it is. That is medical tape. I bought it for my dog once, and I just have it sitting here on my desk, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put that thing to work. It works great. Oh, that's good enough. All right. Let's try the next one. Look at that. That's another connection there. What type of tape is that? I bet you give them cash. Who? Would that create a resistance between them, suggesting you separate them with something to isolate the contacts? Let's see. I kind of need to like face it more towards me. There we go. Here we go. Come on, guys. Okay, so here I feel like I have to push them down. There we go. That was much better. And again, I can't touch that because that's a little short out there. Wow, look at that! What do you guys think there? Maybe I just need to get them like closer together. Hey, by the way, this one only has 3. I missed one. All right, I'm gonna put a mark on that one. Because if the whole battery fails, now I know that is the one that's got 3. I'm gonna keep moving on. This is just a big test anyways. I just want to see. I kind of want this to work, but I also kind of want it to fail because I want to see how 5 of those blowing up, or not 5, 4, or in this case 3, will work. I have a feeling that even 3 of them, it's gonna be good enough. It's never gonna. Well, let me see. 3 times 6. What is that? That's a bit. I think I'm already pushing it with 4, and with 3 definitely. Whatever. Let's see how it goes. All right. What did you guys think? Listen to chat. Let's see it fail. Yeah, I'm not reading every comment. I'm just like, all right. Why are people saying anything important? Repost it so I can read it. Oh, Nick, thank you. Oh, I had some air filters, and then I got rid of them. I should have kept some. I just never thought I was gonna like be welding a bunch or soldering a bunch, but I think I'm gonna have to get some if we're gonna do this Samba battery, you know. All right, here we go. Here we go. Come on. There we go. So let's cut these guys. All right. So then, how do we... What if I cut some of that tape? Let's see here. Move that thing away. Where's that tape? Here's that tape. And I have... Oh. All right. I have an idea. What if we use this double-sided tape, right, to put it in here? So then it's right here. We'll cut it right here. We'll cut this in half. Right, and it's gonna go, remember, we're gonna lean it up against the negative side so that we can minimize the chances of it getting shorted out. Alright, so then we're gonna go on this guy. And this is just double-sided tape, or like spongy, you know, I don't know what it's called or whatever. I just ordered it at McMaster, because I used to order everything at McMaster. Are you guys familiar with McMaster? Here we go. Turn down. Just because. Thank you. Who is this guy? Let's see. Tom. Thank you. Laptop packs are expensive on eBay now. Yeah, people want to use them now. Okay, so now we're gonna fold this on there. Oh, look at that! Just discovered that one of these didn't catch, so then we gotta resolder it. There we go. So now we do the other one. You guys see what I'm doing here? Wow, making an electric skateboard battery is turning out to be more work than... Whoa, no way, there's another one over here that I need to resolder. Maybe doing this, bending them like that is it's a good way to test them out. There we go. So that's it. Those packs there are joint now. Let's take this tape off. And then let's do some Captain Tape around the whole thing there now. Here we go. Look at that! That's a 4S 4P battery pack, right? Positive, negative. Here's a thing that I just thought about. Maybe I should have welded or spot welded all the cables on this side too, on this pack. Now it's going to be harder because it's a bigger pack. And so what I need to do is undo both sides, right? And then I can come and unite it. And then unite it. Or maybe what I need to do is do these two together and then unite the whole thing. I don't know, whatever. It's just work. It's just, you know, no matter how you do it, it's just, you just gotta go through it and do it. You'll find. But anyways, that's what it's gonna look like. It's gonna have another couple of these here, another here, here. The last one is gonna be different, right? Like I said, that one's gonna be like a 10S 1P, and then that's gonna be connected like at the end of the whole string. It's just gonna be there. If it gets too tight on the end, then I'll just maybe take this one off. But I think this one is gonna give me like a lot of range, right? Because this has about the same capacity of more than this thing right here has more than the capacity of 2 of these. But of course, these can push out like, you know, a lot more power, right? 30, that's 60. These ones could probably do like, I don't know, continuous, probably like 5 amps, I think. So 60 and 5, yeah, that's a lot of power difference. So there we go. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's read the comments here. Since I met my goal of putting some batteries together. But hopefully it'll be, you know, I'll finish up this later tonight, and then it'll be on a skateboard tomorrow, and we'll be like just floating around. We'll be, well, flying around. Well, not flying, but riding around. That's the wrong one. Let's see. Here we go. That's my dad right there, if you guys don't know. Okay, let's read your comments here. What does it say? I need a lot more. That's the thing. Google Fastenal. Way better than McMaster. Well, yeah, but no, not way better. They don't deliver as quickly. They don't have the same amount of inventory. Fastenal has like screws and nuts. You know, if you need any like specialty stuff. I did sign up. They actually came and they made me sign a thing, you know, like give me a, you know, like a whole. And we had them in the same, where my office, where my shop used to be at, we had like, oh, they were next door neighbors. So we could just go over there and buy stuff. You know, you didn't have to wait or whatever. But half the time they didn't have anything. So I don't know. Maybe they're growing now. Maybe they're better. But McMaster definitely had a better inventory. Like had much more stuff. I think you need a jig. Yes, I think I do need a jig. If I was building more than one of these packs, I would definitely probably build one, which is what I'm gonna have to do with my Samba. In fact, I think I'm gonna go all out on the Samba and like make. So I'm using these guys for here, right? These are these little. But what if I can have like a whole sheet of this material and just like laser cut or die cut or whatever, so that I can have my modules and sort of like what Tesla does. Not only die cut, but maybe like I can do the little indentation or like the same type as Tesla does and stuff, on the modules. That would be great. But by the way, I have to test if we can spot weld these resistor legs on aluminum. It should work, right? Why shouldn't it work? It's well, I think the material has to melt, right? That's the way it works. So if it doesn't, I think aluminum melts like a higher temperature, so it might not work. Or it might not. It might need like a way more like energy or something. So let's see. Awesome. Have solar panels? Yes. This whole thing here is being powered by solar panels and those batteries on that wall there. There they are. Those are the batteries. So I had this idea of buying 4 LG 4G5 phone and spot welding them to make a 12 plus volt battery with 16,000 milliamp hours. Will it work? Yes, it will work. We'll building the battery banks for now. Oh, link the yellow tape, please. Oh, yeah, the Captain tape. I will link it. Have I ever linked it? I don't know if I've ever linked it, so it might take some work to go and get the link and all that stuff. What do the fuses do when you push the cells together like that? I don't... You need some Captain in between. Well, the Captain is just to keep them kind of isolated from the top, right? I mean, like I said, those two... Plus, they'll hold the cells a little bit. I mean, that's those fuses, those 4 legs are really the only mechanical connection holding the 8 cells to the other 8 cells, right? So yeah, with the tape, it'll just add a little bit more. So yeah, that's the whole reason. It's a little bit of isolation and just mechanical help to secure the battery packs together. Have you ever built an electric bike? No, I haven't built an electric bike. Maybe one day. I did see the guy on YouTube that made the 3D printed the little things, and he used a motor like this one right here, right? Because I have this motor. I was gonna do like an electric skateboard originally, and then eventually I bought the other ones, and then eventually I'm like, no, hub motors work better. Who wants to have gears and belts and sprockets and it's probably the same with e-bikes, right? Like you don't want gears and belts and sprockets. You probably just want a hub wheel. But I was tempted to I told him I would give him a bunch of these batteries because he needed these batteries. If he gave me some printed parts so I can do the same thing that he was doing, and he basically made like a pulley system, 3D printed, and clamped it onto his
wheels, and then, you know, he was using one of these motors, and it worked okay. I mean, it worked somewhat. I don't know. Probably not as good as a, you know, proper hub wheel or hub motor or whatever. But I thought about it. I was tempted. So when the wire fuses blow, we'll see some major sparks. No, they don't blow like that. They actually just like glow like orange, and then they just disconnect. They don't really spark out. Watching from Flint, Michigan. Oh. Do not spot weld to aluminum. Oh, so he's saying do not do it. Be careful with aluminum. Oh, aluminum has an oxide layer. So whoa, what's going on here? Good day. Good day, sir, from Australia, says Biz FPV. I'm just thinking the steel and copper alloyed in the component leads would take to aluminum. Wouldn't take to the aluminum. Yeah, I don't have a sheet of aluminum here. Maybe I'll order one and see what happens. But I have probably wouldn't work, right? Which means that my plates would have to be made out of like bronze or copper, right? Laser cut or die cut or whatever. Did we link where that motor come from? No. Which motor? This motor here, I bought this at Hobby King. Hobby King has the best prices around the internet, but of course, and so now they have warehouses around the world. So before you used to have to wait weeks and weeks because everything was being shipped from China and stuff. But now I think, now you can order it from like warehouses either in Europe or here in the States, and you can get stuff cheap, and then you can get it quickly. So you can get LiPo batteries there, like super cheap too. If you want to work on some projects, if you don't want to do all this nonsense that I'm doing here. I know Inertian Boards sells this an identical pack that I'm building here. They're using, I think, different cells or whatever, but I think they sell it for like $500 or something. So I mean, it's once you see what I'm doing here, it is quite a bit of work. Maybe if you were using the traditional way that people do it, it'd be cheaper. It'll be like less work, right? Because then you're just doing that other strip, the nickel strip or whatever they use. But it's still quite a bit of work to do all this, to glue the cells, put them there, then make sure they're all the same. Oh, look, I taped this, and I haven't even soldered the balance wires. So, yeah, I shouldn't have put that Captain tape there. I'm going to have to peel it back out and then put the wires. And I don't want to do that until I have the entire thing done, so yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of work, putting batteries together. Battery packs. Let's see, what are you guys saying? From a welding class I took some time ago, aluminum, when welded, gives off some kind of gas. Not sure if the quick spot weld would give off enough to be concerned about. For sure there is an oxide. My Bosch e-bike can do 35 miles per hour, just the batteries are a ripoff. My first live show, watch 100 plus videos so far, says Greg Earl. Oh, thank you for watching all those videos. Welding class, you are confusing zinc with aluminum. Soldering batteries kills their lifetime. Yeah. Alright, guys, thank you for watching. It's 5. No, it's at 5 already.
Is it 5? 5:19 already. Not only did I do the 20 minutes and then another 20 minutes. Thank you for joining me this live spot welding session to build this battery pack that eventually is going to be a much bigger pack. Eventually we're going to be riding. I'm going to take it up here to the steepest hills that we can find. There's like really steep hills up here, and then burn those motors or burn some of the fuses here or overheat the batteries. I don't know, something. We'll do something. And then I should really do this thing where I blow one of these, right? But I forgot. There was a reason why I want to do that. I'll try to remember what it was, and then we'll try to do it, because I think you guys like watching batteries explode. And I haven't done any of that stuff in my channel because it's really hard. And you have to have a reason to do it. And so, all right. So Crystal's around the corner. We're going to go grab some dinner. Thank you for spending some time with me. We will stay tuned for that video. It's coming up. It's going to be good. Like, it's long. I think it's like 10 minutes already. And I wasn't happy with the results. So now I need to like do it right. And then, you know, I changed the electronics. Now maybe the motors. I don't know. We'll see what this ends up being, but it is gonna. We're either gonna succeed, right, or we're gonna, completely fail. I don't know. But I'm gonna load a video, and hopefully it's gonna be entertaining and hopefully educational. So it's gonna be a win, even if we completely fail. So it's a win-win for everybody. Thank you guys for spending time with me. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Thank you for all your donations, and thank you for all the links and the likes and the shares. That really, really helps. So we'll see you guys.